G'day, guys. Welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. So, this article comes from SteelerNation.com, and I will try and put this in the comments below. Sorry, the description. But this is talking about Mark Kaboly. Now, Mark Kaboly is from The Athletic. He's a journalist dude, does all that kind of stuff. Look, I'm not a journalist, I'm a fan, but I still find this pretty comical, man. I find it very comical, right? So, let's read a bit of this and let's talk about why he thinks the Steelers are going to go 8-9. He thinks it's going to be the first time that Mike Tomlin has a losing season, and I disagree 110%. Now, from the article here, it says Steelers set up for a historic negative year. Kaboly looked at over 17 games in 18 weeks, and his conclusion was that Mike Tomlin's streak was going to come to an end, and he's have his first losing season. Just a quick thought: the Steelers ended 9-8. They won 4 games in a row. They won back-to-back games. Coming from behind to win on the last play with Pickens and versus the Ravens, right? Kenny Pickett has a football in Canton for that reason, and you're saying they're going to go 8-9. Now he's got a few ideas, possible trap games with Jaguars and Texans and stuff like that. But you know what? I don't really care how he comes to the conclusion. How he comes to the conclusion of 8-9. The fact is that Mark Kaboly thinks it's going to be 8-9 season is crazy to me. They had a much better offseason. They went and got guys like Isaac Seumalo. They went and got a franchise left tackle. It's Kenny Pickett's progression year into year 2. He should be playing better. The Steelers' run game will be much better in 2023. And if you look to the opponents too, right? And also let me know in the comments below what you guys do. You think this is like justified? A lot of comments I see around Steeler Nation now, it's going to be a 10-win season, 11-win season, 12-win season, possibly 13, right? But for me, you look at the opponents, I feel like if you're going to rate anything, and an 8-9 season just won't happen. I think the Steelers can beat the Ravens. I feel like they can sweep them. I feel like they have a chance to even sweep the Browns, and they can possibly go 1-1 with the Bengals, right? Now, Cardinals at home. The Cardinals, man, they're a nothing team. They don't even know if Kyler Murray is going to be their franchise guy. Of course, you have ex-Steeler James Conner there. But the Cardinals are rebuilding. They haven't been relevant for like the last 2 or 3 years, right? If you go into the next one, I've talked about this many times. Many times. Jordan Love. I feel like Jordan Love's only started 2 games. Why do they think that Jordan Love's going to come into town to Heinz Field and take care of business and beat Kenny Pickett and beat this defense? If by week 10, the Steelers are still, healthy, and after the bye being week 6 and they go on a good run, they have that last home game in that 3-game stretch with versus Packers, then they can beat the Packers there, right? So it just to me makes very little sense. Now, Jaguars, I could see an upset there. Maybe the Patriots, maybe an upset there too. But the Niners coming into home, I think it's like a 50-50 game. We still don't know who's going to play at quarterback if it's going to be Trey Lance or Brock Purdy. He's still dealing with injury. The Titans are a very average team, right? Then you go to the away sides. I feel like the Steelers can take on the Texans with our team this year. The Colts, they're a nobody team. The Raiders might give us a bit of trouble. The Rams, I feel like, are playing poorly ever since the Super Bowl they won. They sold out to all their players. They sold out to get the Super Bowl. Now they're in a bit of strife. I feel like the Steelers can beat them. Seahawks might be a bit of an iffy game. So, yeah, I don't know what he's on. I understand, look, there's a few differences, right, that I'm doing this channel, Steeler Nation Australia. I get out my opinion. I get your guys' opinion, your thoughts on the team, and we talk about it, right? But Mark Kaboly and these guys, in journalism land, like I haven't got a journalism background. I don't. So whatever, right? It doesn't bother me. But we're pretty much the same. Fans are the same as someone holding a pen and paper to say, you know what, I think the Steelers are going to go 8-9 this year, and Mike Tomlin's going to have his first losing season. That's what they sound like to me. Just because you have a pen and paper and a journalism background degree, it doesn't mean that you are correct. Now, it also doesn't mean that I'm correct either, thinking the Steelers are going to go 11-6 or 12-5, possibly, maybe win the North. But I feel like this team in 2023 has gotten better in all kinds of areas. They went and scrapped the little middle linebacker position. They brought in new guys there. They went and got Keanu Benton at nose tackle. I think he looks pretty big and strong too. They went and got Darnell Washington, a guy who can probably put someone on their bum straight away, like run him over, 6'6" bloke. They wouldn't have got the O-line, Jones and Ciamalo. So many players on this new offense that going into camp, we should be pretty excited and have a chance. I think if the Steelers can show up and show out, they'll have a chance to go. I think like win 11 games, right? If I'm going to do it, I would say you can beat the Ravens, you can beat the Bengals, Browns, Cards, Packers, Jags. That's 5 games, 6 games at home. You can even have Texans beat the Colts, Browns, and Ravens again. That's 10. That's at least 10. I feel like the Steelers can be at least a 10-win team, 11-win team. So with this article, man, from Mark Kaboly from The Athletic, I know you're a Pittsburgh guy, but you're going to call it this year? You're really going to say this year, out of all the years, that they're going to go 8-9 with a weaker schedule, right? They're going to go 8-9. It makes no sense. Anyways, this should add more fuel to the fire for the fellas. If they were to read this, if I were Kenny Pickett, if I were Cameron Hayward, if I were Patrick Peterson, if I were any of those blokes, and I read this article and say, we're only going to win 8 games and lose 9, that should add fuel to the fire. 110%. Let me know in the comments below, guys. Do you agree with Mark Kaboly's article on this, that the 8-9 season will happen? I just don't see it. I feel like the Steelers got better in the offseason. I feel like they got better in the draft. I feel like that Omar Khan and Mike Tomlin, everyone, Waddles, the Rooneys, I feel like they're just going to go hammer and tongs and come out the gate. Look, last year, they beat the Bengals at home. Away, they beat them away. The Bengals should have won that game. The year before that, everyone said the Steelers can't beat the Bills. They beat the Bills. Now everyone's going to say they can't beat the 49ers. They have a chance to beat the 49ers. You know why? Because it's a 5-star matchup and we're in it.